Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Today we're diving into the proposed overhaul of FAR Part 33. It's all about protests, disputes, and appeals in government contracting.
That's right. The FAR changes are aimed at bringing clarity and maybe a touch of efficiency to how contractors handle disagreements with agencies.
Exactly, and it's a big deal because protests and disputes can delay projects and cost companies a fortune.
Not to mention the headaches for agencies themselves. The proposed rules seem to streamline the process, but do you think they go far enough?
Well, one interesting point is the emphasis on electronic filing. It's 2024, so it's about time, right? But I wonder if smaller contractors will struggle with the tech requirements.
Good point. The digital shift is inevitable, but accessibility matters. Some small firms might not have the resources for sophisticated systems.
True. And with the new rules, the deadlines for filing protests are clearer, which should reduce confusion.
That's a relief for everyone. Before, the deadlines sometimes felt like a moving target. Now, contractors can plan better.
Still, the process isn't exactly speedy. Even with these changes, protests can take months. Do you think there's a way to make it faster?
Maybe, but rushed decisions could mean mistakes. Sometimes, a little patience is better than a quick verdict.
Fair enough. Let's talk about disputes. The overhaul tries to simplify how claims are submitted and handled.
Right, and they're encouraging more early communication between contractors and agencies. Kind of like talk it out before calling the lawyers.
That's always a good strategy. I read that they want more use of alternative dispute resolution, ADR mediation, negotiation, that kind of thing.
Yeah, ADR is less formal and often cheaper. But do contractors trust that agencies will negotiate in good faith?
That's the million-dollar question. If both sides are open, ADR can work wonders. Otherwise, it's just another meeting with coffee and donuts.
Speaking of meetings, the appeal process is also being refined. They're clarifying where and how contractors can appeal decisions.
And it's not just the Board of Contract Appeals anymore. There are clearer paths to take, depending on the issue.
That should help folks understand their options. The old rules sometimes felt like a maze with no exit.
I once heard a contractor say, navigating FAR disputes is like playing chess blindfolded. Maybe these changes will help take off the blindfold.
I hope so. But with every new rule, there's the risk of unintended consequences. What if the changes make things more complicated for some?
That's possible. For example, more defined deadlines could mean less flexibility for unique cases.
Or stricter procedures could make it harder for new businesses to challenge agency decisions.
On the flip side, clearer rules might encourage more competition. If contractors know what to expect, they might be less afraid to protest.
That could be great for the market. More competition usually means better value for taxpayers.
Agreed. But what about the agencies? Do they gain anything from these changes?
I think so. Less ambiguity means fewer surprises. Agencies can prepare for disputes and protests with a playbook in hand.
And let's not forget, the goal is fairness for both sides. Contractors want a chance to challenge, and agencies want to defend their decisions.
Right, it's a balancing act. The proposed FAR overhaul is trying to keep both sides on the tightrope, without anyone falling off.
Sometimes I wonder if there's a perfect solution. Maybe every dispute is a little bit unique.
Probably. But improving the rules is like fixing potholes. You can't make the road perfect, but you can make it smoother.
Well put. So, how do you think contractors should prepare for these new changes?
Staying informed is key. Training staff, updating internal processes, and maybe investing in new tech for electronic filings.
And agencies should probably do the same. Nobody wants to be caught off guard when the rules change.
Absolutely. It's a two-way street. Cooperation and communication will be more important than ever.
I'd love to hear a story from a contractor who's navigated a protest under the old rules. Bet there are some wild tales out there.
For sure. I've heard of protests that lasted longer than the actual contracts. Hopefully, those days are behind us.
With luck, the overhaul will save time, money, and a few headaches. But only time will tell.
That's the real test. Will these changes deliver on their promises, or will new issues pop up?
At least it's a step forward. Change can be tough, but standing still is riskier.
So, what's your biggest takeaway from this proposed FAR Part 33 overhaul?
For me, it's all about transparency. Contractors and agencies both benefit from clear, predictable rules.
I'm with you. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see fewer late-night protest filings and more early morning solutions.
That sounds like progress. For our listeners, how would you improve the protest and dispute process? Let us know your thoughts.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll keep watching the FAR updates because government contracting never stands still.
A special thank you to MarketUS.com for furnishing us this information. You can reach them at MarketUS.com or call them at 954-636-3232. Before we go, this deep dive was created by the MarketUS.com team. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. It's right below the subscribe link.